I think oftentimes we're guilty of desiring the big things, but yet the small things that it takes to accomplish those, I think we miss those at times. What I've discovered is who you honor is who you value, and who you value is who you honor. That's a powerful revelation that Mike Murdoch shared, and when I heard it, something hit my spirit, because what you honor, you'll value, and what you value, you will honor. I want to talk about honor because I think it's so important in a day now where people are disloyal, they're disrespectful to parents, whether that's natural or spiritual. They don't have a sense of togetherness. Most people are not experiencing long-lasting, long-term relationships. Relationships are lasting about 1.5 to 3 years, and then they got the gift of goodbye, and they're quitting, and they're running away from important connections. I believe it's because we don't honor properly. I want to make sure that you honor those that are in your life now, and then those that are getting ready to come. When you honor, I want you to investigate. Y'all know how we do it. We do 3 things. If you're going to honor, you have to value that person's place in your life. One of the things that I have been guilty of is when God brings somebody into my life, I ask him, what's their purpose? What's their place? Because if they are supposed to serve as a brother or sister, then I cannot embrace them as a son or daughter. If they're supposed to serve as a son or daughter, then that's not my job to make them my best friend. So I have to value their place in my life. If God has sent me a prophet, and I bless God, Pastor Kendall Thomas, that's the prophet that God has assigned to me. And so there will be times to where he'll call me and say, hey, I need to talk to you. And he'll begin pouring into me. And sometimes it's things that I want to hear. And honestly, it's some things I may not want to hear. But he's the prophet that God has sent in my life. David had Nathan. So you have to have those people in your life who understand their place, but then you embrace their place. So you have to value their place in your life. And then secondly, you have to value the principles that you are learning through those particular connections. Now, we can sometimes, when a person is in our life, we can get common and we can get casual. But when God puts somebody in your life who you trust and who you value, then they will give you principles. And those are principles you have to execute over and over and over again. I thank God that I father and pastor some of the greatest people on the planet. And these people, when they go through issues or circumstances, they go right back to what did pastor say, what did pastor teach. And it's not because they have pastor salvation, it's because they value the principles that they're getting, and the principles that they're getting work. And so one of the major principles that anybody that's really connected to me know is I'll always tell them, always be found doing what's right. I don't care who's right, I don't care who's wrong. You have to always be found doing what's right, because the Bible says in Proverbs 16:7 that when a man's ways please the Lord, he'll make even your enemies to be at peace with you. And so you want to make sure, number one, that you value their place in your life. You have to value the principles that you're being shared. But then, watch this, thirdly, and I think this is actually the most important one, value the person. Let me say it again, value the person. We are guilty of only valuing people because of what we get from them, what they do for us. And let me tell you this, that's not real value. That there is a gift in them. There is a treasure in them, but it's in an earthen vessel. One of the reasons why I am where I am is because I've learned gratitude. So I'm grateful. So when someone does something for me, I always make sure I say thank you, because yes, God blessed me, but God used a vehicle, and that person could have shut down and decided not to bless me, not to help me, not to sow into me, not to open up doors for me. But there's a person that's behind what God is doing. There are a lot of people who believe, long as I got Jesus, that's enough. You need people in your life who you value, and especially those of you that are broke. If you are not wealthy in resources, at least be wealthy in relationships. At least be wealthy to make sure that people value you. They know who you are. They know your heart. Make sure that you value the person. Thank the person that God is using. We say God just did it, but watch what the Bible says. Give, it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Watch this. Men will give unto your bosom. So when people give to you, you want to make sure you celebrate those people that are in your life. Pastors, celebrate your staff that works with you. Business owners, celebrate those people who purchase your product and make sure that they understand that you value them enough to call them, to reach out to them. I remember I was at Men's Warehouse, and one of my favorite jobs in the world. And when I would sell a suit to a customer, make sure that it was together, I would put my business card in their inside pocket. So when they would pick up their suit, they would go to their wedding or go to their job, they would reach in the pocket, they would find me. I would have their number. I would call them to see how things were going, how were they doing, how did the event go. And they were like, I could not believe that this man took out time to do that. It's because I valued their investment so much that I wanted to say thank you and have a place not only in that particular moment that we share, but have a place in their life going forward. These are the individuals that kept coming back, that kept calling back, that kept sowing into me to help me get where it is, where I am. So it's important that if you are going to make sure that you honor, value their place in your life, value the principles they're sharing with you, but then value the person. Don't get so caught up in what they're doing that you forget there's a heart, there are feelings, there are emotions, there are insecurities that are behind that person's operation, but they bypass all of that just to bless you. And I think they deserve a thank you. I'll talk to you next.